So, Splintered City, session 3, and we're going to pick up from where we left. So, we were at KLCF 66.5. We stand close to the fire because it's not 66.6. So, I think you would be then, because there was a fire alarm and everything last time, so you would have maybe not stood right outside the building where the radio station is. So I think we're probably going to adjourn to either like an alley or like a cafe nearby.
We could retreat back to the bar that I was staking out the place at if we wanted to as well. That's a place.
So yeah, you're free to. This is in the afternoon, so you've got some time before the 0 hour.
Is Mr. Street in his Kalishnikov form, or is he back in his detective form?
No, I'm still in my homeless Russian ex-serviceman cover at the minute. So
perhaps maybe down a very, very dark, quiet alley that you can get in Seattle, because obviously we have some things to discuss. So maybe rolling up to a bar will cause too much attention in your current state.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're in an alley in central Seattle. It's late in the afternoon. There's some traffic in the alleys, but not much. But there will, as soon as it hits 5 o'clock. It's going to be people leaving work. So you've got some time now to be here in relative quiet and solitude.
What did you find out in the building?
What didn't we find out?
That will take longer to explain. Just tell me what you did find out.
You have questionable taste in music.
It's a expression.
Irrelevant.
It's always relevant, my friend.
I think I liked you when you were more drunk. This whole new attitude of yours. Anyway. Nightingale, would you like to explain, or shall
I? Well, from what I can tell, I'm not a... it gets a little fuzzy, in the whole mind thing. This body is not what we were. They have it's definitely an infrastructure of some kind.
Concealment.
Concealment. Its purpose is to confuse and masquerade. We found the linchpin. It's an algorithm operating on a computer.
And it's right there in the office. They're not even hiding it.
It's right for the taking.
Exactly my thoughts.
I suppose then the question becomes, do we wish to co-opt this infrastructure, or do we wish to disable it?
Oh, I definitely want to co-opt it.
Can we co-opt it?
Can we make that...
In good conscience?
Well, conscience is not something... Don't tie yourself too heavily to these mortal moors of ours. There, Nightingale. We are still what we are. And something like this could be of great value to us. I'm just trying to think how we can manage to disrupt our old friend's agent, make it look as if this infrastructure perhaps is no longer in place, and yet still somehow co-opted. That is the trick that I haven't figured out how we're going to pull off. It's a heist and a cover-up and hopefully a murder of one of our old friends. I do need a heart still, gentlemen. Just saying.
You have mentioned this at several points.
I'm sorry, I digress. But it's tricky. But I think we could potentially do it. It's a matter of, do we want to take the risk?
Can we hijack it without alerting?
Well, we were able to fall without immediately being descended upon by all of God's host and dragged back to the farm for rehabilitation.
To be fair, the agents that they employed there were not the most observant.
I do not disagree in principle to the idea, but how would we physically go about co-opting the infrastructure, and for what purpose?
Well, we are all still quite new to this form of our existence. But if I'm not mistaken, it must be vaguely similar to the way we deal with the humans. But instead of having to say, make their dreams come true, we're just realigning the linchpin to suit our purposes and not their purposes.
Well, if there are certain laws in place that can be bent, some actually can be broken. Perhaps the form it takes, if it is inside a computer, perhaps we can just simply reprogram it.
Yes, exactly. That's correct. That was where I was going with it. Yes.
But I have not attempted such.
Well, neither have I, and I can speak, I think, for you as well, Mr. Street, that this is a brand new experience for all of us.
But I could
Indeed,
give it a go.
I was not made to be programming computers.
Well, we weren't also being made to steal and alter reality to suit our own whims. We were made to do a job, and that was that.
Yeah. My first instinct is to destroy it. That's just because I want to get rid of his hair, its influence in the
yes,
city.
But if it is, as I believe it to be, truly mad, then we would be doing reality itself a service by taking away this piece of its machinery from it.
Plus it fills
One cog at a time, until either we've rebuilt it in our own image or we have dismantled it permanently, whichever happens first.
My main concern, given what you've said about the infrastructure, is that if it prevents mortals from interfering and poking their noses in too closely to unnatural events, let's say, would removing it suddenly cause humanity to start looking more closely at those strange things that go bump in the night, like ourselves?
But that is the trick. We wouldn't necessarily be removing it, would we? We would simply be changing the ownership and perhaps tweaking the programming slightly to benefit ourselves more. Obviously, we don't want them to know all about us, but we also don't want our old friends to be the ones shaping the narrative.
At least that's how I see it. As our own information net, we could use it to highlight the shady corporations moving around in a city.
We could use it
just so
to expose what we want to expose. Exactly. Yeah.
So happen to be working for a different boss to what they expect.
Yeah.
I have two small concerns. The first is, do any of us have the necessary skill to be able to reprogram this infrastructure?
I have done a little bit of this, but I would not call it my strongest suit.
I would say that in my, let's call it my day job, I have the facility with perhaps the hardware, but not the software. As I understand it, that's what we would be dealing with here, is some kind of software. But then again, we also have to think of this as more an abstraction. It's not really a computer. It's not really an algorithm.
No.
It is and it isn't, right? We can deal with the parts that aren't. I think we just have to make a good go of showing reality that we are playing by the rules by attempting to rewrite the program. I don't think we have to actually do that, though. And out of character, I'm going to ask the Cogmaster here if I'm on the right track or not, because again, this is a mechanic we have not played with yet.
This is something that we haven't touched on yet, but there's broadly speaking, because all of you understand the basic principles of infrastructure, because that is what made you exist.
Yes.
In your previous existences. Angels require infrastructure to exist, and you all know the basics of it. And well, number one here, which Nightingale has brought out, is you can destroy the infrastructure. You can do it very easily now, because all you need to do ultimately is destroy the linchpin.
Yeah.
If you blow out that one computer,
that's it.
Eventually, this thing will grind to a halt. It might be like you can't predict the results necessarily because you don't understand anymore the full algorithm of reality, but you know how to break this. You just destroy that one computer and that's done. And the second option is to hack it, and that's not something that is necessarily going to be like you go in there and you perform your hack and then it's yours. In order for it to continue to provide benefits that you would then manipulate, as we've been discussing here, it needs to run as it is with your interference in it. But you can't like take it apart or like take it from the God machine so that the God machine cannot use it anymore. Basically, you need to.
We're co-opting a little
Yeah,
corner
you need
of
to
it.
be the
We're
worm in the
subverting
system
it.
instead
Yeah,
of
I
stealing
see what
the
you mean.
system.
So,
Yeah,
so it
got
sounds to me
We're a
like
virus.
it
Yeah.
sounds to me out of character that the sort of best way to do that would be to continue with Wash and Nightingale's plan of like installing Nightingale as someone who works regularly at the radio station, because then he'd have like
Oh
access
yeah,
to
that's right. Mm-hmm.
So
So
like he'd be
there's-
there, he'd be able to be there constantly.
Okay, I'm happy to do this for the ring, but ground level, they need better music. Like they need to
Well, that's
have,
why you'd be
like,
hired,
even
right?
even the elevator jingle I put up
They
with.
did say they
I
needed
did
a
it for
DJ.
you, Wash.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. All right. So back in character. Then now that we understand how that works. A little bit.
My second concern is that if we do this, if we are not subtle, we will be painting a rather large target on ourselves for the God machine.
Well, I think we're going to have to be subtle in any case, Mr. Street, because, and this is your area more than it is either ours. But
Let me stop you there. You're saying that subtlety is my area.
No. I'm saying murder is your area,
Ah, good. That is a relief.
and I presume that you can do murder subtly.
Define
Debatable.
define subtle.
As in, you will not summon the shining host upon us immediately once we dispatch of this angel that is possibly coming to blow up or shoot someone at said radio station later this evening.
I would hope not. I have already killed at least 2 people, and it has not summoned the God
Yes,
machine servants.
They were just humans. This is what we're proposing is possibly far more loud. But maybe it doesn't even have to come to that. Perhaps all we need to do, because if we remember anything about our old friends, they lack the flexibility and thinking that we now find ourselves having. So perhaps if we simply disrupt this attack or this assassination, whatever it is, if we simply disrupt this angel's plan, it might assume mission failed and return home for reassignment. And that might be the end of it.
That is true. If I could observe this angel for a period of time, I may be able to ascertain a little more about it that would aid us.
I was hoping that would be what we would discover today, but it hasn't seemed to rear its head again. So
Sounds like we need a surveillance man.
well, what we're going to need is we are going to need a place to hide before this all goes down this evening, yes. And we're going to need to be able to be in a position to stop it from happening or disrupt it from happening.
Well,
or we might as well blow up this linchpin ourselves and call it a day.
Well, what the Nightingale suggests is a wise thing, a mobile command center, effectively, a vehicle of some kind. Since then, if we do need to relocate, we can take any equipment with us. We do not need to move a building.
Do Russians have vans?
Yes,
He means
of course
van,
they
right?
do.
He means van. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They all look the same though. I read about it in a book once. Well, I as it turned out made a new friend while we were all waiting to come back together this afternoon. Her name's Athena, lovely woman. Runs one of those lovely they call them motorcycle clubs.
Is she like us?
No. She's one of the ape men, but it's all right. She's lovely for a human. Well, I say lovely. I mean, she is a brutal sort of person. But then again, she does run an illegal motorcycle club now. After talking with me, that's neither here nor there. She might be in a particularly amenable mood, though, this afternoon to provide us with said vehicle if we don't need it to be too fancy.
Is this a loaner or is this like a permanent
Well, with the way she acquires things, I'm sure we could secure the vehicle for ourselves on a more permanent basis.
Or we could just steal one and
We could
dispose
do
of it
that.
afterwards.
See, this guy,
I was only suggesting this as we want to make as little noise as possible prior
No,
to.
I see why you suggested. My concern, as we are all acquaintances, is that
Yes.
if this van is taken from us or it is traced, it would lead back to this Athena and potentially back to yourself.
I would
Whereas
hope
if we
is more
steer,
smooth at her job than that. But yes, I see what you mean.
I would also hope that you are correct, but I would rather not leave it to chance. Whereas if we
That is fair.
steal a vehicle and then dispose of it afterwards, there is little paperwork to trace back to us.
Well,
And
what
as we
about-
all know, the God Machine lives in paperwork.
Yeah, I believe it invented bureaucracy simply for the purposes of hiding its machinations
to keep track of itself.
beneath the
I don't-
veneer of civility.
I don't know if it invented it. I believe the God Machine is bureaucracy.
Oh, that's an interesting way of thinking it. Philosophy for later. Philosophy for later. What about those lovely, lovely vans that were staking us out earlier? What was it? 2 mornings ago now at this stage? When we
the ones
originally
that
received this tip?
The ones that were not on the system.
Yes, those ones. If they're not on the system, they don't technically exist.
Nobody's going to miss them.
They would be
No
ideal.
one is going to miss them. If we could find those would be absolutely ideal for our purposes.
Well, the unfortunate thing is if they are no longer in the place they once were, tracking them will be difficult because they
That's
are not
true.
in the system.
Well, I suppose it wouldn't be that much of a waste of our time to at least check. And if they were surveilling ourselves, then they might pop up here or there.
We should do a circumference of the radio place and just make sure there's none of them already there.
Well, while you were in the building, I've been outside surveilling it. And as far as I'm aware, Cogmaster, I did not see anything strange or anyone remarkable entering or watching the building.
That would actually kind of make sense, because obviously, as we are all fully aware, the various cogs and wheels within the machine do not always talk to each other. The lovely expression that I've learned since we've been here is the left hand doesn't always talk to the right. So,
Cognos may
perhaps
have 2 left feet.
yeah, oh, that's a good one. I like that. Well, perhaps maybe we should go back to the scene where we first saw those
It's also
vehicles.
an indie band. You should check them out.
Yes, I agree. Let us head back to the scene and see if the vehicles are still there. If not, there may be some signs of where they went. And
Yes.
either way, we can then adjust our plan as is necessary.
Indeed. Cogmaster, the time you said is late afternoon?
Yep.
And what day is it? Specifically?
Friday.
Right. I have things to attend to for my day job, and then of course I have things to attend to for my night job before we
Understandable.
go out and try to stop this.
I will also have things to do for my day job.
So Zach here, I believe, is the only one among us who doesn't have other
A
things
job.
to be doing right now.
Not for a lack of trying. I
Uh,
have the relevant experience.
I
but it's
don't-
not good enough.
Don't worry, honey. I'll get you a job. I'm gonna talk to the boss. Don't worry. Wink, wink.
Look, I don't want any.
You should have seen us,
low-level
Mr.
glass
Street.
collecting.
We made
I
an
want-
excellent human couple. They believed it.
It's true. It's true.
Oh,
We had the rhythm.
Nice.
So, are we agreed then that, in terms of acquiring the vehicle, that will be your task, Mr. Nightingale?
I was going to bring Street with me. He has a penchant for acquisition.
allow me to make a suggestion, since I also have things I need to do. I suggest that Nightingale travel and investigate the scene, do the initial investigations, see if the vehicles are present.
Of course,
Whilst you
we'll
are
come right away if you need help.
While you were doing that, myself and Wash can be doing what we need to do. And then if they are still there and you need my help, you can contact me and I can make my way to where you are.
Besides, I might perhaps be able to find out some more information back at my building. I'm sorry, at Basker's building.
Well, I fear I've found all that I can using my other cover's resources. So anything else you can find.
I might do a canvas, I believe is the word. I have to make my rounds anyway, so I can always ask around, and perhaps maybe we'll get lucky and Mr. Ryan, is it?
Yes,
he'll pop his
Gabriel
head
and Ryan.
He'll pop his head open and his head up, and I can pop it open. Not literally, of course. Just going to ask him some questions.
Can I just check something with the Grand Cogmaster, wherever he is? For the this whole pack thing, I saw a Witness Street do a bit of it last session. Is this something we know intuitively, or is it something we learn from other demons?
Oh, you understand how to do it.
It's a part of our new nature, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You it's one of those things where you know how to do it, but you don't know why it works, and it's like it's something that demons contemplate and debate about. Like, why does this work for us? Like, why can we do this?
Why is it allowed?
Yeah. Why is reality allowing us to do this? But yeah, you know fully how to do it. Now, your style might be vastly different, because there's the classic idea of a pact is, of course, the like full of legalese, like document thing where you're trying to fool the person with like dense jargon shit. But you could also be like my boy here gets lots of money and I get his car, and then like that's the entire extent of it. But yeah, the mechanics, but the style is entirely up to you.
Do I have to have something on my sheet that I can give them in return?
No.
We rewrite reality with our wills. That's how they get the stuff.
Okay.
So it's a perfect crime, because we're just simply saying we're willing it to be through the pact, but we can only do that when we make the pact, basically. It's like how it is in the classic demon lore, where I'll super things, but only with the pact.
I'll put my sort of arm around Street, and like not like I'm trying to draw him away from Wash, but just like I'm bringing him in. I just look, man. Okay.
I'm standing right here. We haven't even been on our first date.
We haven't actually moved. He can still hear us.
I know that. I just wanna, man. It's between you and me. This like, look. I know you did that thing earlier, and I know what you did, and I great work, and loving the new accent, very good. With anyone, even a man. But I just thought, like, you seem really good at finding people, and that's just not my, people find me, if you know what I mean. I've not the other way around. They come to me when they need me. But you can find people, and I've seen it. And I was just wondering, like, if you could keep an eye out, Street, because you get around, hence the name. I'm looking for a very specific kind of individual, man or woman, young, old, doesn't really matter. That's a bit sinister.
This does not sound that specific.
No. In terms of like that thing, doesn't matter. And what I'm looking for is a kind of a talented but like washed up musician that I can sort of like give a second run at things, Because you're going to be going to some of these venues. You're going to come see some of my stuff when I'm working. I want you to come see the band I work for if Wash comes through.
I always come through.
So you keep saying.
Well, of course I can keep an eye out, as you say, but to use my my abilities to locate a person is not something I have turned on all the time. It is something I actually actively have to do.
Understood. Well, if if there's anything I can do for you in return, happy to help. I have some talents.
What I would suggest,
I can really help a man. Get the guy a second chance at stardom, and I could just take a little nibble.
What I would suggest is, when this immediate matter has been dealt with, we between the three of us, we attempt to find a place that may be frequented by such individuals then once we are there, I can then use my abilities to attempt to narrow down the field and find the person that
That's
you
great.
want.
It's
Just come to my bar.
It's just tertiary.
Ah,
Yeah,
that
but
is
your
another
bar, your
option.
work
bar
at a
doesn't have the
bar.
kind, it doesn't have the right vibe, man. It doesn't have the right,
Have you been to my bar? That's when it's
they only have
not
one
in the
type of nuts. I mean,
afternoons.
come on, they just haven't got with the times.
Okay. We are hip with the times. Just because we're not, if you're a weird underground pastiche, whatever you have going on.
Death rattle.
So we are agreed then,
Yes, I
Nightingale.
just wanted to ask while you're here.
Besides, I do need to
Well,
get him a
keep
job,
an eye out.
so it'd
I
be
will-
perfect.
I will, as you say, keep an eye out. So, Nightingale, you will go to the scene and look for the vehicles. Myself
Alright,
and Wash will go and deal with our day jobs.
And
you
I'll
will
canvas while I'm there as well.
indeed, and you will contact us, Nightingale, when you have further information.
Mhm.
Good.
Lovely.
Then I will see
Lovely
you
when
all
a plan
shortly.
comes together.
Okay.
All right.
And I think we're going to head off on our separate ways.
Yeah, and I'm gonna turn a corner and revert to Basker and head back to the Grenfell.
I'm pretty much doing the same. Head around the corner as soon as there's no one inside.
Yeah.
Transform back to Caden Bell,
Yeah.
and I'm going to head to my office to do like my day
I'm
job
changing
detectiving.
colours. I'm gonna pop my earphones in, and just kind of swagger down the street, stop off at a few places, get some more smokes, like make a show of it.
What kind of music does, or is there music, or are the earphones just for show?
Oh no, it's currently it's kind of the glam rock, I think, would be what he's listening to right now.
Yeah.
A bit of glam.
Yeah, the darkness.
Darkness, yeah. That could be. They get on the list, they make it.
So yeah, I think because there's maintaining to be done with Street and Wash,
Mhm.
we're gonna follow Nightingale as you're in a different part of town now, and you observe the two Seattle produce, I believe, the
Yeah.
big
It was so generic, wasn't it?
yeah, big thing on the side said, and the two vans are still there in the same parking lot, in the same positions. So what do you do? I want to say by the time you get there, it's going to be like past 5. Maybe people are leaving work, coming, going, getting food after work, going to after work drinks because it's Friday. There's a whole bunch of people around.
I'm gonna
Not
see.
specifically in the parking lot per se, but in the street.
I'm going to do like a casual few circles around the block, see if anyone turns up for the vans.
Mhm.
Probably not.
Nope.
They've been there that long.
Nope.
I don't have like a wibble sense, do I? Like if anything odd's about. No such
Do you have a
thing as
wibble sense power?
wibble sense? Like if something's off about the vans, like there's something weird going on.
Yeah. You could always call the machine, I guess.
I see what you're doing there.
And maybe if you wanted to
I don't know, fail.
completely botch it,
Nah, I'm all right. I don't want to go on the run just yet. I haven't even got a job yet, mate. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna let Street know. I'll say in Russian, the the babushka's got the basket. I hope that he understands what I mean. The confirmation.
So I presume you sent that by text.
Yeah.
So you'll probably get a text back from me saying, I take it you've located the item in question, and it'll be in some random language. I take it you've located the item in question. Do you require assistance?
Correcto. It's in Greek.
And it will say then, like, if so, just respond with a text containing your location.
And I assume this is in the group chat, or
Yeah,
is
yeah.
this just to Street?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it's in the group.
Okay,
chat.
cool.
So I'll be like, if you do not require assistance, your next reply should
The
talk
group
about
chat
the
rage
weather.
against the machine.
So I'm basically saying, like, if you require assistance, give me your location.
Yeah.
If not, just say something about the weather.
Yeah, I'll give him the location.
Okay, so
I'm-
am I at a point with like maintaining my cover when I'm like, oh, I can slope off, or am I like in the middle of stuff? Because obviously, if I'm maintaining my cover, I can't very well just be like,
Yeah.
sorry, I've got to go and deal with some infrastructure secretary. I'll be back in a bit.
I'll get some cheap dinner while I'm around, basically, just to obviously have
Yeah.
to eat.
Yeah.
Or at least look like I need to eat.
So yeah, it's up to you. Let's say like 5:15 is when you got on the scene. You spend some time going around. You dine. When do you send the text to street?
Ooh, after I've been there for a good hour or so.
Okay, so you're not done with your paperwork. You've only spent like an hour and a half on it. You need to send out these invoices, and there's those photographs you need to develop from the cheating case.
Yeah,
that
from
you're
the husband having
Yeah.
the affair. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll send you a text that will say, currently tied up. We'll let you know as soon as free.
Okay.
I will shoot a text because at this stage it's roughly 6:30.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Right. So as Basker, my evening rounds are between 4 and 7. So I'll be available in like half an hour. But however, while I was doing my rounds, I was of course attempting to look into some things. So I don't know if that bore fruit or not. We will have to wait to find out. So.
I'm literally typing right now. I'm almost done.
But
Just a second.
yes, I will let Nightingale know that I will appear at roughly 7:15.
Okay, man, just be cool.
I'm always cool. Like, I mean, everyone says my jokes are very funny.
One thing I will do is while I'm looking at the vans, I'll see if I can get any sense, from my electromagnetic linguistics. See if they're transmitting anything.
Oh boy, this is gonna be extremely. Oh, you're trying to get from the vans.
Yeah, just to see if
Yeah.
they're actually like, might have a GPS device turned on. There might actually be something in there that's active. It could be like I detect a automaton walking around the car park.
Yeah,
If
there's
this
an actual. Yeah.
If this transforms right into a robot, like Michael Bay style, I'm ripping the gate, mate. I'm out of here.
So,
You ladies, man, do what's that?
so this is gonna be a wits and composure roll to isolate anything here, because you're
okay.
standing in the
Oh,
street
yeah, that's fine. That's
in
fine.
a very
yeah.
signal dense area, and it's gonna be yeah, you're trying to listen to a particular thing in a room full of people shouting.
Okay. Any minuses to the roll, or just what I can get?
No, that's the you need to roll because you're in the street trying to do
Yeah,
this
that's
thing.
fine. Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Booyah. Booyah.
Okay, where's the? Here we go. So one success. You don't pick up anything as far as like wireless transmissions go.
That's good.
So it's not sending or receiving anything really.
I'll see you as well if I can pick up a shop, or obviously this is referencing a place. See if it's around here, because this could be infrastructure in itself.
Yeah, anything could really. Yeah. So yeah, what are you trying to do?
So this is what, like Seattle food, Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle produce is
produce.
the taped on thing on the side of the vans.
I'm gonna see if there's like a warehouse nearby, like a shop nearby, or like, nah.
No.
I didn't think so, but you never know.
Yeah, but your friend from the bakery is you surprise yourself by noticing him as he's like taking out the trash into a dumpster next to you as you're trying to puzzle out the electromagnetic fields, and you're woken from your trance by the dumpster slamming shut as the baker in his little apron and chef's shirt and little paper hat thing is like, oh hey, Mr. Death Rattle,
Oh, hey, man. I didn't see you there.
Yeah, he's like wiping his hands, having tossed out the trash.
I'll give him a fist bump.
Yeah, so he comes up. So what you
Twice in
work
one
in a
day.
gig
What a
here?
glitch.
Or
Oh, I was sorry. I was looking for something. I didn't quite find it.
oh
Sorry, I didn't mean to accidentally ignore you there. I've been
no worries, no worries. I was
working
he's just
hard. I
taking
can
out the
see.
trash now.
Don't let the man get you down. The man's always watching.
Fucking hell.
Always watching.
It ain't easy, bacon.
Not easy.
So anyway, I need to get the batch out the oven. So I don't know if you want a coffee, it's in the house. The cakes I need to charge you for because
You gotta
bills and
make
shit.
you gotta
So
make money, man. You gotta pay the bills. I
Yep.
understand.
yeah, but pop on in. Clearly you hang around, so just come on in. Coffee on the house.
I sort of look over my shoulder, kind of behind me. Yeah. Okay, yeah,
Could
sure,
go
yeah,
for a
sure,
cake.
yeah, sure. Okay, I'll come in for a coffee. I'll hold the
Nice
cake.
lemon
I mean,
drizzle.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to have a cake.
So are you gonna go for a coffee?
Yeah, I'll have a coffee.
Yep. So the
I
coffee
kind of
is free.
stare daggers at the angel cake.
You want a cup of coffee?
That one's for you, Johnny.
You notice it's on special.
Yeah.
So do you get cake as well? Is the question.
No, I just get a coffee.
These are the important questions that we ask in this
Got to
game.
look after myself. So this is the only
Mhm.
flesh puppet I've got.
Yeah.
So
there's people there now. You're not the only one there, as was the case previously. So he doesn't have the attention to give you that he did previously, but he gets you the coffee.
appreciate it.
Yeah. So he runs his thing.
Doesn't have my name in like binary or anything, does it? Just no, everything's fine. Okay.
Yeah, it just says on the top, it's like, I know what you are.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit.
Is that, would you like a cup of our two-bean Terminate the Demon blend?
Jimmy Club. I'm going to look around. I'm going to pay more attention to this venue than I did previously. Does it have like any posters from the radio place or anything like that? Does it appear to be connected in any way? This is just my usual player paranoia of everything.
Yeah, no, he's got the audio system there. It's running like a local station currently. I think it's probably tuned to the news right about now. So there's some local news stuff going off, and he seems to have like modern shit in general in his store as far as equipment goes. And he's got he's got the the works in the back, like where the magic happens.
Or the infrastructure, whichever.
Yeah, the infrastructure is in the back.
The infrastructure.
I'm just gonna scan around. So there's no one wearing like a Seattle Produce uniform or anything like that.
No.
Oh, cool.
No. Yeah, there's the as mentioned before, there's the generic clip art of like a turnip. It's just like a purple, clump, and then some green off the top, and it's straight off of like a Microsoft clip art catalog, and then in like Arial is like Seattle Produce.
Yeah. I'm also gonna like just text Wash on my burner phone and be like, in Italian, getting coffee at a local cafe again. Just let me know when you're in the area.
Question: do I know about the coffee house and the creepy, overly chatty?
I think I mentioned it,
but I don't know the specifics. Do I? As the character.
Yeah, that's entirely up to Matthew. Really, you know that he went in, but that's
yeah. Like how much of it did you reveal that this guy was basically like pumping you for information?
I think I was pretty open about it.
Okay.
I think I told you in the alleyway after we scouted the
vehicle. I thought you might have. Okay. So I'm going to text back. You mean with the very talkative human, and I put that in bunny rabbit ears.
Didn't have a reason to say no.
Ellipsis. Yeah, you did. possible old friends club member. Are you trying to get us caught? Question mark.
Of course not, man. I just like to like to hang out with people who appreciate music. Plus, if he's not vibing with us, I can always kick him out the band.
If I still believed in an incomprehensible, all-knowing God,
Yeah.
I would take that thing's name in vain at this point.
Mm.
I'll be there soon.
And look, you really like this guy.
Uh-huh.
once you talk to him, you want to eat his heart out.
Well, I mean, if he is my flavor, then I certainly will.
Mhm.
At this point, I should be en route. Obviously, I've wrapped up as Basker. I've cleaned up, changed back into Maria, who's now sporting a very dapper leather coat.
It sounds like a silly question, and no doubt we've covered it probably pre or post game. Is it easy to spot a stigmatic from our point of view?
I seem to recall there's powers that can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that any one of you currently have any of those, but I think
know,
there's
I ain't
powers
got, I
to
ain't
do
got
it.
useful stuff. No.
Then there's the if a stigmatic has powers of their own and they use them, then you can probably pick them up with your etheric resonance thing, which we need to talk about going forward as well. But basically, if they activate themselves as a stigmatic,
right,
you might be able to pick that up, but it's hard to pick them out of a crowd without specific powers to do it. But they have tells, so they're literally stigmatic. So if you notice someone with like a metallic tattoo, that there's it might actually be metal in the skin and not a tattoo.
Okay, so I'll just make a play of like looking up some like local gigs that are coming up and that kind of thing, and like stuff about the radio show and that kind of thing. Like I'm looking for material to do my DJ, that kind of thing. Pass the time to maintain this cover, guys.
And I'll show up pretty much whenever at the stage.
Look, this whole cafe could be filled with angels, but I'm so deep, I'm so method, they're not going to know.
It's literally the sign is just like heavenly cakes, and it's
it's like Angel Club, welcome.
I just look up from my phone, and it's every chair's just got an angel sat there.
Yeah, and the music is like ha ha ha. No, none of that.
I didn't realize you got a harp in this. Bakery.
Oh, look at this!
How'd you get through the door?
It's harpcore.
It's an up and coming genre. Yeah, it's got range.
Fuck it.
Well, yeah. So we can reconvene if we want to. Nightingale, if you want to take action before any of that happens, you're free. You're on site, ostensibly.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the shop. Give a thanks to the guy for the free coffee. Appreciate it. Death rattle, that kind of. Yeah.
Like there's specific hand signs for this one band.
If you know, you know, right? So head outside. The vans have been there for quite a while. No sign of movement or.
No, untouched, as far as you can tell.
So yeah, I'll just be hanging out, having a smoke, waiting for my team to arrive. I think I'm not foolish enough to go solo. I think I've learned my lesson.
Right. So we're gonna jump into, and it's basically up to you guys. Like, when do you want to meet up? We're looking at like 6, 7 at the very least. But
7:30, I'd imagine this stage, because I know Street was kind of lagging behind.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I say with me, it just depends entirely on when I've got like my office work done.
Yeah, I think we can, if we're looking at like 7, 8, everyone's all set up to go with their day job stuff.
Yeah, I'll switch back into my Morgan cover before I head over.
I show up as Maria, of course.
You switch equipment as well?
No.
Okay, End up as a waitress with a massive revolver.
Yeah, I mean that is something you need to take into account. Like if
I
you're,
think I have a 9mm now myself, actually.
if you walk around with a like a big gun,
I've got a way to get around that problem.
and your cover doesn't have the justification for it, that's.
Well, I'm in the
something-
club now, so I'm starting to get more justification, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
Luckily for me, I have a power, which effectively means like my pockets are like the quantum realm.
Oh, right. I love that one.
Yep.
Hello,
That's a good
Michelle
one.
Pfeiffer. Wow.
Oh yeah, she's in there.
Wow.
So we meet up, I suppose, on the street outside, Heaven
I'm extremely
Cafe.
happy to the idea of.
Yeah,
stealing-
I would imagine
stealing
we-
from the man.
I would imagine that both me and Street approach from an alley
Yes.
that's not in sight of the creepifying, possibly angel-ridden cafe.
And the strange man was like, "Would you like a cake?
Would you like to tell me everything
It's
about you?
heavenly."
He could just be
Yeah.
a young
Positively
man who
divine.
wants to make friends. He's working
Well,
hard. He's,
I'm not
he's
taking any
trying to-
chances. I actually like my Maria cover. I've put a lot of work into her so far, so you don't need to get my spot
Doesn't
blown
give
up.
me the angelic vibe. Like, he
Actually,
just-
I think I'm going to stay in my Caden cover rather than switching to Morgan when I approach. Because to be honest, I'm getting to the point where I actually like my Morgan cover more. So like, if I do have to go loud, I'll probably blow the detective cover.
There you go.
you don't want to lose your.
I don't need to lose my
Militarized Russian.
ex-Russian infantry homeless man with his sweet US citizenship.
Yeah, there's nowhere for him to go except up because
That's it, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
true. Fair enough. You can do whatever you want at this stage.
And also, comparatively, it's fairly light on the old maintenance front. So yeah, my plan is, as Caden, I'm going to approach from the alleyway, obviously meet up with Nightingale and Wash, and as I approach, like I say, looking a bit like the version of like Harry Dresden from like the short-lived TV series. Is what my Caden Bale cover
remember.
looks like. So I'm going to walk up and I'll be like, "Is this the van?" Yeah.
Two of them. Take your pick.
I have a look over them just to basically satisfy myself there's not anything like overtly wrong with them, There's not like any like trackers bolted to them or anything like
I
that.
wasn't getting any vibes from it.
Well, I'm not talking about potentially.
It needs a paint job.
I'm not talking about anything unnatural. I'm talking about standard machinery, that you can buy in a hardware shop. I do a lot of surveilling and detective work. We have to observe people covertly and stuff like that. So
We
I
are
know this
surveying.
stuff's
Is that how
facility
we're
right
is
now.
that how we're going to be stocking up this van with surveillance equipment? Oh, I forgot about that. I'm used to seeing you in rags.
it's
Well,
fine,
like
it's
I
fine.
said, my other option is to take this to some kind of fence. I'm not in the life, but I'm guessing there's people we could go to exchange it for different vans.
I know
Look,
people. now.
we don't have time to worry about that now. If you two,
No, because we do have a date tonight.
yeah, we've got a pressing engagement. If you two
And
can,
I still have to show up at the Sour Patch at least for a little bit tonight. So
okay, you two keep an eye out. I'm going to get under this van, give it a check over, just make sure there's nothing, everything's on the level.
if you need some help with that whole hot wiring thing, I might be able to help.
At which point, I would like to try and use my quantum pockets power. Since it said
As we were just talking about it.
I can basically make a Dex larceny roll to have anything that could feasibly fit in my pocket.
Oh,
so
that's
so I'd like to have
powerful.
a spare key for the van.
That's awesome.
Yep, I
God
like it.
damn it! That's genius.
I'm gonna need to get. Is that an embed?
Yeah,
It
I'm
is,
gonna
yeah.
want that one. I think.
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, you could have like sandwiches for days.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Cake even
Cake even. Yeah.
Yeah.
pocket cake.
Cafe
Heavenly
cake is good
cake.
for.
You can start talking to your angel buddy. I mean, the baker.
No successes, so I've not got a spare key for it. It's fine. I can still try and hotwire it the normal
You
way.
could use willpower.
I could have used willpower, but I'm saving that just in case we need
And
it
if he
when we
needs
go
help
into,
with that,
Angel
I would like to
Rumble.
offer any help dice if we could.
Oh, he's going to offer you a complication here. Oh, here we go.
So Mr. Street,
no.
Oh, cross my
dramatically
path.
fail.
You know I do.
What does it say? The
Oh,
embed?
let me have a look. 'Cause the embed might have like some horrendous.
Yeah, it might be
consequence.
real bad.
Dramatic
Yeah,
failure.
yeah, look.
Oh yeah, I won't be doing that.
Well,
Because
he
it's
knows
like,
what it is.
it's like the demon has nothing in his pockets. Every object he was carrying is gone forever, vanished into pure potential. So I'd be like all my guns and all my kit and everything gone.
Wow.
So yeah, I won't be taking
No.
that. Much as I would love to, I won't take that
It
dramatic.
solves
failure.
you having to like when you change forms, though, right? Covers even.
Yeah, but the actual items would be gone. We have to go procure new
Yeah,
ones.
I'd have to go and like get more guns.
And we are pressed for time at this
yeah,
point.
don't
so
have time,
in
and
game-
I'm going to want some guns if we like, end up like
You
throwing
seem
down an engine.
confused. Are you okay?
I'll be like, yeah, I was hoping I might have something that would help, but never mind anyway. I'm basically, while they're keeping a look at, I'm going to crawl under the car. I'm going to give it like a bit of a once over, investigate larceny, whatever you think is applicable, just to check that there's no like normal method of surveillance or like tracking modules or anything like that, or bombs or anything like that on the van. 'Cause it seems a bit sus. It's just been left here for this amount of time.
I'm happy for wits and investigation to clear the vans.
Okay.
Do you get his
Maria
bonus
will
for-
stand on
do
the
you have a- Do you have
lookout.
a carjacking thing that you can use, John?
I've got a specialisation in hot wiring vehicles, but I'm not hot wiring it. I'm
Okay.
just checking it over. I will spend a willpower on this though.
Yes, in this line with C4. Okay.
Actually, this is
One
a great
success.
point. Since he was just spending some willpower, this is a great point to ask. I couldn't find it immediately in the book. I apologize for having to ask about it. But how you regain willpower from what exactly?
Aspirations, and following your
Virtue and vice.
virtue and vice. Yeah.
So I should have probably at least gotten one back for fulfilling an aspiration last session, but I'm still down 2. Okay.
Sorry, that might be old information.
Oh, okay.
I'm not 100%.
I'm pretty sure it's
about-
only virtue and vice.
Yeah, virtue and vice probably, because aspiration.
That makes more sense actually.
Because I got some back last session for like doing like the hasty thing, just be like rap and like coming in through the door.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. No, I'm cool with that. I just need to know because I'm really skint right now.
Yeah, no worries, man. That's why I'm trying to be a bit sort of
Sure.
sparing with it, because I'm like I
Yeah.
can get some back by being hasty, but I don't want to be like kicking down all the doors and like bursting in.
Sure.
We're trying to do this big plan. So yeah, so one success on the investigation.
Yeah. So you cleared the vans. You don't find anything as far as aftermarket parts put on for nefarious purposes. What you do come away with is that they're maintained very well.
Okay, now how modern are these vans? I mean, I know they're like in fairly good nick, but like are they like top of the range like
They're,
modern models, or just like a generic
It's if you had to guess, and you don't really know too much about cars, unless you do have drive?
I do have one that I drive, yeah.
Oh, cool. 10 years out of date. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping you'd say. So what I would like to do is, out of my jacket, and I'm assuming I'm okay to have this because it'd be a fairly normal sort of thing for people breaking into cars, because I've seen this done, is have basically like a wire coat hanger in my jacket. Take it out, straighten it out. I'm then going to take like a small like rubber wedge out, and the plan is you hammer the wedge into the gap between the window and the thing to prop it open a bit. You then hook the door handle, basically using it, and you're like.
Quick aside, you know what I've not seen done in any like modern fiction or film or anything like that is if that is different for cars that have fob opening, where they don't have like keys anymore, like they just open surely with a click of a button. Like, could you? I imagine you couldn't unlock it then that way anymore, right?
No,
I don't know.
It needs to be like an old style, like more mechanical.
Yeah, it does, right? Like, I imagine the new ones you have to have some kind of electronic equivalent,
Yeah,
right?
that's pretty much the reason why I was asking how old they are. 'Cause I'm like,
yeah,
if it's an older model, I can probably
you
like.
can do what you want, yeah.
But
Yeah,
if it's
these old
a new
ones.
one, I'm like, oh, bit out of my
It's
wheelhouse.
like they don't want us
guys.
to steal their cars.
and it's also part of the reason why Nightingale isn't picking anything up, because there's no tech for
Yeah.
sending and receiving a lot. In
That's
the cars.
fine.
That was why I was sort of like, oh, I might be able to like get into
we
these,
want?
because like
Sometimes
they're
a
obviously
van
not
is
that
just a
modern.
van.
So
Sometimes
yeah,
it's
I'm just going to try and like
something
pop
much
the
worse.
door open. If any sort of alarm starts going out, I'll do the bit where you reach underneath and you pull the wires out like dead quickly.
Yep. So let's do the roll that you have your specialty for.
Is he trying to hotwire the car?
Yeah, no, sorry. You've got larceny is what I meant to say.
Yeah, I've got larceny, man.
Can
Yeah,
Maria assist in this? Because she has, I as Wash have crafts and things
sure.
of that nature with
Yeah.
vehicles.
And unlike what I said, I did not have the time to look that up or even remember it. So
I imagine I'm just
go
adding a modifier, right?
Yeah,
Like,
we'll just go with the +1 die.
sure, that'll do.
So I'm going to
Yeah,
go.
you gotta
with,
get it there. You see the blue wire. It's always the blue wire.
So I'm going to go with Dex larceny
Yep.
with a bonus of 1 because I'm not actually hot wiring it yet, so I don't get the speciality.
Mm-hmm.
Nada.
Oh. Okay.
I was
Do you want to
hoping you-
catastrophically fail? Because you can.
Do I get any idea what the catastrophic failure would
Oh,
be?
let's see. Is there? Oh, okay. Getting weird errors on my PDFs. Oh, the God Machine found me. Shit.
Oh no. Oh shit.
Oh, and it's the main rule book as well. What is? Hopefully, it's not corrupting because I need to re-download that. If that's the case. Oh no, it seems to be working. Okay, but I lost my page. So what we're doing is it's not even here. It's the. Oh, where would this be? It's gonna be in the God Machine.
Yeah, probably in the main book.
To
yeah.
be fair, I'm just happy for you
looking
to
for it right
freestyle
now.
if you want.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's gonna be freestyle shit anyway. I was just.
Can I ask if it would fit in under, because there's not a lot, but I think the one that would fit in under common actions the most would be in repairing, like a repair failure perhaps. So like it says under that, like broken objects, a lost cause, will never work again. So like if you're trying to like make it so that like an alarm system doesn't go off, then probably a dramatic failure is that it goes off completely. Like
So
you can't
here's
stop it or
here's
whatever.
here's my thing. And it's not directly what the design intent a lot of the time for dramatic failures in the game is, but this is not something that the game tells us because this is the situation currently in play. So and I like other games that do that kind of thing a little bit differently. So my proposal is you jack the car. But someone saw you do it.
Oh, that's a good one.
And remind me, what do I get for accepting a catastrophic failure?
XP.
Oh yeah, I'll take that all day, every day.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, someone knows that you did this now,
That's fine.
but you get in. It's not that complicated. It seems to be like an old, reliable, well-maintained van.
Yep. So I'm just going to take my time, pull the wires out, do the bit where you're like,
Yep. Yep. And for that, we don't need to roll for it because you have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
We don't need to deal with that. But I presume, being the sort of paranoid types that all of you are, really, you're probably going to take a look at the van on the inside as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
How many bodies are in there, man? How many?
So there's absolutely no registration papers in the glove box, but you do find one of those paper boxes full of nitrile gloves, the blue ones. So basically disposable,
Like
plastic.
medical gloves almost.
Yeah, medical gloves in the glove compartment. Funnily
That's
enough.
not ominous at all.
In the back, you've got a couple of big honking, jerry can type containers, but plastic, of a couple of cans of bleach. There's a couple of tarps all neatly folded out into a pile.
I don't mean to alarm you, gentlemen, but I believe we may have stumbled into what's technically known in my trade as a murder van.
That's what I was gonna say. I saw that on like one of
Is
those
a dead
top
body
shows
in there?
once.
Like what?
No, it seems to be
That's my character's
it-
confusion. Like what's
it's a spotless vehicle for suspicious intent currently, but there's
Basically,
equipment.
what I'm saying, Nightingale, is if you wanted to disappear somebody, this is the sort of van you would have ready to do it.
This is a disappearing van. Yeah.
They-
you do in your day job?
Well, he goes after people who do disappearings.
I just sort of turned to watch. He didn't say no.
No, that's his other day job. You're getting him confused.
In my present cover, I'm a detective, so it's my job to know about this sort of thing.
Okay.
Disposal of evidence,
I'm
things
just
like
saying, man,
that.
this is gross.
You
Anyway,
really should get
get
another face because you'll
Want me to-
understand this whole thing
want me to
better when you have
drive?
to. You know.
If you want, that's fine. It means I can
That's
keep
fine
it
by
over.
me.
And I'll presume it's got like the little windows on the back. Like,
Yep.
so basically, I'm going to take up a position in the back, so like crouch down, like looking out of the windows in the back, and I'll say, right. So just to check, is the plan that we're going to head and park up near the the radio station. Then when we see what goes down, we're then going to engage.
Did we need to stop at your office for any monitoring equipment, or was it surveillance equipment? Is that the terminology?
I'm only a small outfit. I don't have a vast array.
Okay.
Batman
So
array
like,
of.
So you're not like CSI or whatever.
No.
Very important question. Does the radio work?
You find that it doesn't have radio. The slot is there, but the radio is absent.
What? No music.
Well, at least we won't have to listen to any of that death rattle that he likes.
You're like, you can walk if you want.
You know what? Actually, pull up and pull over right over here at the corner. I will, because I actually have to go to my other job. Maria has to make face this evening. Swing by the Sour Patch in an hour once you guys have gotten the rest of what you need.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Just as a, in case any of us have not really considered this, as before you go, like these vans were left here for a reason. You might want to try to figure out what that reason was, because that's sinister as AF.
Well, I'm sure it has to do with your buddy in the coffee shop.
No, man, he just likes his sugar. He's just
He likes his sugar by day, and at night he scrubs the city of old demons with bleach and a convenient sewer porthole. Anyway, I'm gonna go.
Forgive me if I sound, in my opinion, justifiably paranoid. But remember, and I agree with Wash on this, we are rogue ex-agents of a universe spanning machinery that is reality. I don't believe in convenience and coincidence. Having this strange fellow you've bumped into a number of times who seems unnervingly friendly and just happens to be near where these unmarked murder vans are. That seems
just so happened to be where we met our contact.
He just wants to educate himself on death rattle. That's
okay.
It's a noble goal, right?
Mr. Street, you convinced him. I do have to go, so I pop out and begin huffing it to my other job.
Just before you go, Wash, I'm just going to say, right, we're gonna take this van over to the radio station. We'll park up there. If we see anything, join us as soon as you can. If you see anything untoward, we'll let you know.
Yeah, just hit me up. All right.
Should we disable the
other
vehicle?
Hey, I'm gonna get you a job, buddy. And I point at Nightingale as I run off.
Right, we're off to the radio station then, Nightingale.
And I'm off to the Sour Patch.
Okay. We can basically pick up from wherever you guys want to pick up.
Yeah, I'm out the window, hand on the wheel.
I do legitimately want to pursue one thing at the Sour Patch of note, and I do want to speak to the manager and persuade them that I know this banging guy who does sound like no one else, and the 2-3 nights a week we get the live sound in, he needs to be our guy, making sure that's crisp. So,
we can jump into the back where you're stocking stuff and you're talking to the manager.
Well, I'm stocking, but I mean, my nails, my hands, these hails.
No, but he's like the manager.
Drinks,
Manager is probably
he definitely
stuff around.
He definitely stocks.
So is there a name for this person?
But he hires them pretty for a reason. We don't stock.
I'm speed reading through your thing here for Maria and.
I didn't actually come up with a manager. I came up with.
There's a bartender there. Okay.
Well, so I have a rival bartender and I have a lecherous patron, but I didn't come up with a boss.
Yeah. So I'll just roll here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be. Sammy Graham.
Sammy Graham.
Yeah.
That's a random Seattle name generator.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, it's working so far. This is a male or female Sammy?
It's a. I want to say so. It's Sour Patch. Where it's the like pseudo Irish.
Well, it's kind of like it used to be. That was like it's in the frame of that, but really it's like a hipster like Wonderland on the inside.
Yeah. So
any Irishman that walks in there is gonna vomit. Probably.
Yeah, they're it's not for them.
That is.
It's not for them at all.
Hey, we still do a good Guinness, but yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not their scene, probably.
Yeah, no. So I want to say Sammy is is probably like an ex-restaurateur whose restaurant kind of went down. Like he's a chef,
Okay.
but he's business tanked, and he used what he had to
Very common.
like reroute to this.
Sure. Yeah. Totally.
So I think he's for some reason I'm picturing like a slightly older guy.
Sure.
With like, you know, he's getting the salt and pepper thing going.
Middle-aged. Mhm.
And middle-aged. On the lean side, he knows about food, but he's not
a foodie.
he's not a gourmand per se, but he makes a mean dish. But I think that's who we are.
One other question about Sammy then, ethnicity, for the sake of the
I
being in
think it's
a very white Seattle.
It's gonna be like Anglo-Saxon.
Sure, Caucasian.
Yeah.
If that's even appropriate to say anymore.
He goes back to England.
Yeah, right. He's one of those mutts that we have running around back home. We all like to say that we're from somewhere else, but really, no, we're from New Jersey, we're from Seattle, we're from California. Anyway.
Yeah. So Sammy is like taking in the shipment and like stocking stuff there, and you're talking while this is going on. So again, in the interest of time, unfortunately, we've been like it's that kind of a year where if you have something you want to, you know, actually really go through, we can condense it down to a smaller thing here.
Not a problem. Yeah. I'm fine with it just being if you need me to roll a dice roll for it to see if I'm successful.
Yeah, it's like sort of boiling down your
I did the sales pitch already earlier, where it's like, you got this guy, you know, he's solid. He always shows up on time, and he makes the equipment sing. So that's pretty much the pitch I'm going with. What would you like me to attempt to roll? I definitely want to be I want to be finesse with it. I definitely want to be, you know, I'm trying to hard sell.
Are you being honest about me or not?
I'm being honest about you mostly.
So we're looking at it's going to be manipulation and subterfuge, I think.
Okay, well that actually works better than just persuasion for me because I got no persuasion.
I think because
it's all wrapped up in the fact that there's covers involved, and I'm not trying to be 100% truthful, or else, you know, I tell them I'm leaving.
and I'm linking, and this might be wrong as well, because I might be looking at it from like old information perspective, but I'm linking subterfuge to manipulation, not in that, I'm trying to lie all the time, but like I'm trying to get you to do stuff because of this objective that I
I see. Yeah, I guess the way I perceive subterfuge is if I'm being underhanded or trying to perceive underhandedness or not, but that's also perfectly fine way of looking at it too. So, and really any of these like socialized persuasion, intimidation, subterfuge, they can be manipulated in so many ways depending on your situation and your approach. So, but yeah, I'll give it a roll. 2-6. Sorry. Ooh, nice.
Okay. Do you want to? Oh, well, there we go. I was looking at the 0. I was like,
no. I got 2. I got 2 successes, baby.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Sure. Fine. It's something that
part-time, even, you know.
Yeah, it's something that I've been thinking about. Anyway, we need to, you know, boost up the live offering we have.
Yeah, and we got to compete, right?
Yeah,
I don't know the biz like you do, but I mean,
we need to get more people on the roster as well, because we can't always have the.
You know, he knows people. He's in that whole like hardcore, like underground.
Well, listen, if we can bring in some interesting acts through this guy, well, of course we need to talk to him before. We need to
totally,
get sound his depths, so to speak. But it's if he can bring in more, you know, people to play on the live evenings, I mean that's something we want.
Weight in gold, right?
So, there's no harm in. Now it's not going to be, you know, like it's going to be gigs, right? So he's not looking at like a contract or anything.
Yeah, he knows. He's just, you know how it is out there right now. I mean,
Yeah.
So it's just he needs something to help fill in the time, pay some bills. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just to get him started. Just get him back up on his feet.
Yeah, right. No problem. Next thing you're going to tell me he's an electrician as well and can redo our powers here. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
he says clearly, with a jokey smile.
I mean, yeah, he could. I mean, but you might have to talk to him about that as a separate job, but he might charge you more for that. I don't know, but I don't know his rates. But I mean, but look, I know that he's looking for work. He's hungry, and he's got the skills. That's all I know. So
well,
I'll bring him in. How's Monday? Monday afternoon time when we're slow.
Sounds great.
All right, sweet, awesome. Hey, look, I hate to duck out on you, but I see Sadie's out there anyway. And I like Sadie, but she doesn't like me that much. So I was gonna cut out early tonight. I worked the double the other day. I got some things to do tonight. Is that okay?
Look, you can't really keep doing this with Sadie. Like you realize that.
I know.
Eventually we need to sit down.
Yeah,
I haven't been doing that because I'm not I didn't go to HR school. So
yeah, I get it. I totally get it. I mean, she's just really doesn't want to be friends with me. I mean, I try. I'm friends with everyone except for Gary, but and of course Sadie. But she just really definitely doesn't want to be friends. I don't know what to do about that. Look, how about this? After I bring in my guy on Monday, we can talk about it a little bit. Maybe brainstorm. I think, yeah, we'll brainstorm something. Maybe to, maybe get her on my good side, regard me on her good side.
I mean, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because you're right. You're totally right. We gotta try to work. We gotta be like a family here, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And at least if we can't be, we don't need to be buddy, but I need to be able to have you under the same roof.
Yeah, I totally get it. I get it. The customers like her too. So, obviously, it's not a one or the other sort of thing. I get it. So it's, well, look, okay. Look, let me cut out early tonight. I'll make it up to you. Don't worry. Trust me, you're going to love my guy. He's going to be great.
Okay. Clearly you do too. So I'm, expecting the world now.
Have I oversold it a little bit? Oh, so I'll try not to put the pressure on them. These artiste types. You see the ones coming in here all the time, struggling to write their novels or their screenplays, always tortured. So I'll make sure not to tell them that you said that.
Sure.
Cool.
Sure.
Okay. Hey, Sammy, you have a great night. All right. I'm gonna go. But hey, if you need me or anything like that, if there's something, if Sadie decides that she has to, go home, whatever, you just let me know. I'll try to be around. But I do have something I cut out and do real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
That's cool.
Thanks. And I do a little fist bump in his general direction.
Mm-hmm. And he just shakes his head.
That's what the kids do these days. At least that's what they tell me.
Also, and feel free to tell me that this doesn't happen. But he's like, also, by the way, Marie, maybe don't have the leathers on.
Well, this is just a plain jacket, but yeah, I wouldn't be wearing but it's noticeably I'm wearing more leather now. So,
we don't necessarily want to.
Is leather not in?
Attract a diff.
I see.
I don't want to be.
Yeah. Oh, I vibe on you. I got
up in your business.
No. I get it.
But maybe at least on the job.
Sure. Maybe something
maybe forego the leathers a bit.
Yeah, something that's a little bit more.
Old
Navy versus.
Yeah, I mean if you just want to toss on the jeans and the flannel, that'd be great.
Sammy, you're sweet, but I'm not get caught dead in a flannel. I draw the line. I serve the hipsters their fruity fruit drinks and all that. I draw the line at flannel, okay? But I get you. I hear you. I see you, and I'm with you. All right? Yeah.
Okay. The hearing is the important part.
The hearing is the important part. Got it. Cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
Okay.
Great talk.
Love it. She goes back to stocking
And I just bounce.
the drinks. Yep.
I like my leather jacket. It's old, new, and shiny.
Yeah.
Good thing I didn't wear my new cut. He would have really freaked out then.
Yeah,
I say that to myself as I mutter to myself as I storm out a little bit.
Yeah. Cool. So, are we meeting at the?
We'll meet back at the
Well,
location. Yeah.
I wanted to have
whenever.
a short discussion with Mr.
Yeah.
Street,
Please.
who's currently in his detective form.
That's correct.
Morgan, right?
No, Morgan is my
Morgan's
homeless
the
man
Russian
form.
dude.
That's
You are
correct.
currently
Caden Bell.
Yeah. Caden Bell. Right. Yeah. So I'm just sort of obviously driving along, kind of tapping the wheel, and after
Yeah,
a couple of minutes,
I'm
I
in the
imagine-
back, sort of looking out the window.
Yeah. I imagine you're quite quiet in the car. You're not like you're not normally a chatty kind of guy.
Yeah.
I just kind of after a while, I just kind of break the silence, and I'm just because obviously I haven't spent as much time with yourself as I have Wash. I kind of feel like I've got me and Wash are starting to jive, even though he's a bit of a square. And I'm just kind of like something, Street. I think you understand me. I think you get me in this relieving this vehicle from the corporate Godfather. It brings me an immense sense of satisfaction. This can help us.
Well, I say so, like not taking my eyes off the window, but I sort of say, well, I don't know about relieving it off the corporate Godfather, but it definitely makes sense to have a vehicle that we can dispose of quickly if we need to.
Feels good, man. It feels like we're taking our role and making a stand here. Yeah.
And also, depending on how things go this evening, some of these supplies in the van might come in handy.
Well, that's the kind of thing in it. That's the thing. Like I feel like we did what we thought was the right thing. Like we're kind of expressing our sense of free will here. Like you know what I mean? Like we are taking action. We're proactive. We're making a stand, and yet we happen to find a van which has the exact kind of things we may need for what we're about to do. That's sweetly convenient, isn't it?
Well, yes, it obviously wasn't put there for our use. Someone else is planning on using it, but
That's what I mean.
we don't have a way to determine exactly what that is, so we just take advantage
if it
of
was
it.
for ourselves, like if it was deliberately put here for us to use, that's can I just do a cog kind of thing? That kind of gets you in going.
Yeah, I mean, we're just taking advantage of the resources we've managed to locate. We need a vehicle, and stealing this is far quicker and more efficient than trying to either buy one or find another one.
Absolutely.
To be honest, I was a little bit surprised when you told me that the vans were still there. I'd expected them to be long gone.
Yeah, almost like they've been left there for a reason, right? That's what I'm thinking. Like, obviously, there's something going on here, but like the fact that it's as you said, a removal van of sorts. Especially when traffic, I don't want to be careful what I'm saying. That it comes fully equipped for that purpose, and we might need to remove an individual who's dangerous to society. Just oddly convenient.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I'm a little bit on edge about that, but there's not a lot we can do about it now. We just don't have the time to do a full investigation of everything before we act. It's unfortunate, but we've just got to do the best with what we've got.
Right. Well, let's hope this works out okay.
Well, look,
And
we're coming up to the radio station. Park up just across the street from it.
Okay.
We want a good vantage point so we can observe the people going in
I
and
mean,
out.
like reverse it up so the back entrance is easy to get in and out, or just kind of like a car park or something. Again.
Just park it across the street.
Okay, will do.
And obviously we'll try and find a place where you can legally park, because we don't need some like traffic cop coming up and giving us like shit while we're trying to covertly surveil this radio station.
I'll see if I can find a pair of keys in from the inside as well, like
No.
just in case.
No
it was
keys.
a-
Yeah, you're relying entirely on the wiring of Street.
I imagine what I'll have done is, you pull the plastic away and you pull the wires out. I'll have basically just sort of like very like lightly sort of push that back in, so like if you look through the window there's not going to be like loads of wires trailing down, but if you just like go like that, like the plastic will just drop off, exposing the wires again. I guess we need to restart it. And as we're sort of pulling up, I'll send a message to Wash to tell them that we're outside the radio station now, and we're basically going to set up like surveilling the place. Obviously, keep an eye out for any sort of angelic emanations. If we see like Gabriel, Ryan in the area, anyone who looks vaguely suspicious, we'll be like taking a note of. I'll be going into like my sort of like investigator mode as though this was a case that I'm doing, and I'm surveilling the joint.
Would you be safe to activate your thingy form to check around for things inside the van?
While you're looking at that, I text back in Spanish, in very animated Spanish. Got Zaki Boy an interview, which will definitely lead to a gig because I'm that good. However, kind of hate my boss right now. Didn't like the new leathers. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
I text back, well, he has a point. But thanks, man.
Screw you. I should have let you rot.
No, man, I'm good for it. I'll investment. I hope this job comes with good dental. That's what you're supposed to say, right?
And
I wouldn't say that in this instance. This is the gig work.
I've sort of glanced at that briefly, and I'm like, oh, it's more stuff about Nightingale's job, and I've got to drop my phone back in my pocket. And I'll carry on talking to Nightingale and say, I could use some of my form to see if I could sense any angelic emanations, but
I mean, it's up to you.
obviously that is a use of power, and if we need to leave this van, it's not exactly subtle. It will affect my physical appearance, and if there's anyone also out there trying to sense the use of power, they may pick it up.
This is true. It's up to you. It's no biggie. I just thought while we're here and in the van.
I prefer at the moment to rely on more sort of like old-fashioned techniques, and then if things look like they're escalating, maybe we can move it up to that stage.
Use your gut, right? I got you. That's why I kicked over the yogurt thing. I get out the van.
I'm like, the plan was to stay in the van.
I'm going out for a cigarette. I'm gonna stink the van out.
Maybe some cake.
And then just casually have a look around.
Seriously, Nightingale, I'm not going to complain if you smoke in here. I'm saying I've taken out a cigarette of my own and like lighting it in the van. It's like it's a van we're planning on disposing of. Who's going to like complain that we're smoking in it?
You gotta think of your health, man.
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'll be like, to be honest, we're just about to go into some infrastructure to try and potentially stop some angels from assassinating someone. I don't think it's going to be the cigarettes that get me.
Long term.
So, fast forward to Wash arriving.
I'll be sat there with like some binoculars, like looking out through the back window of the van.
I will approach from the side, off the street, on the sidewalk, away from the radio station. So just in case anyone's kind of spawning, I will look around. I'm looking at rooftops. I'm looking at windows that have a good placement. I'm just trying to see if there's any, anything strange, like an odd package just sitting outside the place. And of course, when I presumably don't see these things,
Nope.
I'm going to just do a quick on the glass on the passenger side of the van. What's it doing, gentlemen?
I'm gonna let him in.
All's quiet so far.
Oh. Well, no. That's good.
What I'd suggest one of you perhaps ring the radio station, disguising your voice, and ask to speak to Mr. Gabriel Ryan. Then we can establish whether he's in the building or not.
Well, have you seen him go in?
No, but that doesn't mean he wasn't in there before we arrived.
Well, that's sensible in a way, but we know that there's a rifle involved, yes? That's what the angel took from Gabriel's apartment.
Yeah, that's why I've got these binoculars. I'm keeping an eye on all the buildings nearby. I've not seen anything suspicious.
Perhaps we need to be a bit more forward. Maybe we should just have someone go into the building.
I just kind of turn around, still got a nearly finished cigarette in my mouth, and I say, well, if you want me to check inside, I can do that from here if you really want me to.
You could For a specific person.
I can look at a location. Yeah, I've been to it before.
Oh.
That's why I wanted to go in, man. Scout
Yeah.
it out. You know?
Oh.
Do it.
Yes, please. Well, that saves us a
Okay.
full of
Someone,
debate, doesn't it,
someone
Mr.
keep,
Street?
someone keep an eye on the wheel. And I'm gonna get in the back of the van. Just gonna kind of, make it look like I'm gonna do something amazing. Kind of flex and yeah. So I'm gonna use one of my actual demon forms.
Okay, so you're gonna partially manifest, I presume.
Actually manifest my form. Yes, which is on
Right.
page.
Do you have the versatile transformation thing?
I certainly do. I could manifest more than one, but I
Yeah,
don't
so you
need
can
to.
manifest 2.
To be fair,
point of
you
ether.
may as well manifest a second one because, like, why not? You get it for
We
free.
may need it for later.
So if there's one that's like generically useful, like extra strength or anything like that, you may as well
I could
manifest
have like extra arms and stuff, and yeah.
So you use 1 ether anyway, and you can manifest 2 of your.
I'll manifest the ability that lets me just automatically heal, because that seems like.
Make them an Andy.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna activate my wound healing and my clairvoyant sight.
Right. So,
which costs me 1 ether, right?
Yeah, that costs you 1 ether. And how many demon form components do you have that you're not using currently?
Oh, how many? I didn't know that was going to be a question. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
4.
6.
6. Okay. So please roll wits and manipulation. Your current and your only cover is 7, I believe.
Yeah.
So we're rolling wits and manipulation plus 1. Plus 7. So
Plus
wits
8
and
total.
manipulation plus 7.
Plus 7 total.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. And there's things over here. Yeah. Six successes?
Wow.
Is that good?
6 successes. Yeah, that's an
Exceptional.
exceptional success. So somehow, because this is a compromise roll, what we just did, because you manifest demonic attributes.
And reality doesn't like that.
Yeah. So, but you have an exceptional success. So the character somehow manages not only to survive the compromise, but incorporate it into her cover and become stronger for it. So you get an XP.
Oh shit.
A cover one or a regular one, and that's an important distinction because cover ones are the only ones you can use to increase cover with, like buy cover stuff.
Oh my god.
With.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you can
cover
get
one.
an
Yeah,
XP
yeah.
for cover or just your
Cover.
regular thing.
So yeah, it's a. Oh my god, yes, cover. Right, yes. So what I'm going to say is it makes so when it manifests in my current cover, it actually doesn't look too. It actually doesn't like show quite as much. So I'm going to say, so for example, normally the manifestation of my clairvoyance would be like having like a band that goes right around my head, that kind of like data is just flowing around as I'm taking it in, like far looking. It's obviously that I'm not human when I do that. And normally I'd have like kind of like the wound healing one, but it's like all over my body, this kind of crisscrossing like pulse of energy, just the wound healing. But now I've just got like a different set of contacts that kind of glow slightly, and I've got like these strange these kind of tattoos around me that are sort of incorporated into my cover when I have them active.
Yep, and that is entirely fine. It will not change the fact that if you walk out,
you're clearly demonic.
The closest stigmatic is going to be like.
Yeah, but it does look kind of.
But it's more subdued because you managed to suppress some parts of it. So. Pick which type of experience you want, and also regain
cover. That's why I described it being.
Yeah, cool. So you can mark that down and regain 1 point of willpower.
Ooh,
yes.
Slick.
Yeah.
This is like
Christmas.
This is like the most juice I've got of a World Darkness roll ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you get the effect of your demonic powers. So what do you do?
Obviously, the wound healing I'm fine at the moment, but I'm going to try and see into the area where we have the tour where most of the staff were. See if I can pick him up.
Pick who up.
Gabriel.
Right.
The guy we're looking for.
So, is this something that's ongoing, or do you just like get a
I don't know if
glimpse
it
and
lasts
then
for
it's
a
over?
scene, but I'll have to check.
Yeah. So, please do.
I will check.
As he's checking that, meanwhile, I'm going to be complaining to Street. I think this jacket accentuates this cover's form's features. Like, I get it. He was saying he didn't want to like bring in that element. What does that even mean? I mean, has he never met some of these renegade biker types? You know, some of them are actually quite gentle souls. They just want someone to talk to them, listen to them, like any good bartender would do. I'm like, duh.
I'm about listen. I see what you're saying, but my clothing consists mainly of like 2 long duster coats. The only difference is whether it smells of piss or not. So I'm probably not the best person to talk to about this.
Yeah, but see, I think the duster thing suits you. You know, I mean, like even if we were like oh, you know, look like we really look, I think you in a duster still would work. You know.
Well, that's why I've gone for it. It's a utilitarian piece of clothing. It's got lots of
maybe
pockets
I should add
in
in
it.
some leather straps to my true visage. That could be interesting. You know, like
As far as I can tell, it doesn't.
what's those fancy movies where they run around in dune buggies and leathers?
You know,
Tie people to front of cars.
The Mad Max films.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. I'm thinking about this too much. Let's get focused. I apologize.
It's fine.
It doesn't actually specify the duration, but I can pick a person or a location.
Okay, so we're gonna just for this instance, if not forever, we're just gonna say you have remote viewing now in that room. You've got a camera. You've got a demon camera. And
you could say it lasts a scene, like you want to reduce.
Yeah,
it to...
well, we'll just say okay, it lasts the scene, and the scene is this. So, am I correct in assuming you guys are staking this place out now until things happen? Yeah.
Or until we have to maintain our cover.
I mean, in my mind, we would want to sort of like stop things from happening because once they start happening, it might be too late.
Okay.
So I don't know how best to position myself because we don't know where it's coming from or how it's happening.
Yeah, and that is a difficult thing. But when I say things happen, I don't mean like when there's an explosion, you guys.
Oh, right.
Like when things that you're waiting for come about that you want to react to.
Totally.
Jump to that. So, Nightingale, you're in the back of the going away van, and you see into the office space, regular shifts. You can see them getting prepped for the broadcast as time goes on. So the clock ticks towards the midnight hour, and you don't see anything out of the ordinary, really. They're setting up their broadcast and ordering some food. There's like a person comes in with takeaway stuff.
I'll relay this to everyone in the van. I'll talk through what I can see.
Oh, if he's talking through it, then I would say to him directly, you don't recognize the delivery people at all, do you? I mean, remember earlier in this adventure of ours, our mutual associate came to us as a delivery person.
I've had cake since then. But I don't think so.
No.
So
be mindful.
Has the delivery person already turned up with their food, Nightingale, or are they waiting for it?
So
I think they're having a disagreement about what type of vegan rolls to get.
Yeah,
but
it's fine. If you want to set up for the food courier, that's fine. So are you, because you're clearly interested, are we going to jump into the point where the guy comes in with the food?
What I'm going to suggest is you guys keep an eye out for the food courier, see if we recognise more, if there's anything sus about that. While you're doing that, I'm going to have a look at the using my binoculars at first and then exploring in more detail if I need to, since we know that Gabriel Ryan's potentially going to have a rifle which speaks to me of like a long range sort of thing, more like assassination style. Like you don't tend to have a rifle if you're just going to walk in somewhere and like try and blow somebody away. So I'm going to be looking for buildings that I think are like overlooking the radio station that might be like a good vantage point
Oh, I
for
love
like someone with a rifle?
Yeah. Well, I will take care of the delivery person. What are we doing with this delivery person? Am I, putting him in a trash can for the night, or letting him proceed on?
I'd suggest you pretend to be someone from the radio station. You take the food off them and then go and deliver it. Then we can send them on their
No,
way.
they would recognize me. I'd have to switch,
Recognize both of us.
and then, yeah. I have an idea. If I get close enough, I can, and if this delivery person is perhaps touched by an angel, let's say, I should be able to at least detect that much about them. So
You can eat his
Okay.
could
hand.
vet them that way.
Okay, but if they're not, I'm keen to avoid any unnecessary loss of life.
I agree, absolutely, 100%. I got
Everything
this.
seems normal and
I jump out of the van.
So we're gonna jump into they've ordered their food. The guy comes in wearing different clothes for a different delivery company. Is quite the emaciated older man coming in with a bike. And you do recognize the earlier face of Dozen Dimes.
Now I'm outside at this point. Do I encounter him?
Yep.
before he-
If you want, you can see him coming
Okay,
down.
yeah, I'm gonna like leather jacket kind of hiked up over my face a little bit, kind of hands in the pockets. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna approach him, kind of just do like a bump into him a little bit, hard enough to like jostle him and get him to stop.
Yeah. So he's like stops his bike because he needs to go into a building, and he's like taking
Sure.
on.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm so sorry that I bumped into you. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna try to help pick him his stuff up, and then I'm gonna try to lean into him close. It's like, so anything interesting you can tell us about what's about to happen tonight? We're kind of flying in the dark here, kind of just putting stuff into.
Yeah, man, it's a wild night. You never know what's gonna happen on Fridays, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, have a safe evening out on the out on the streets of Seattle, and I'll be on my way.
Didn't seem like he was there, did it?
At least
Or
he's
he
not
was-
saying he's here
or-
to fuck things up.
Yeah, have I seen any buildings that I think could be like a good vantage point for a rifleman?
Probably. It's central Seattle, so there's a lot of high buildings around.
So yeah, so
very hard.
I've just said to
down.
you guys, like, any one of these, like half a dozen buildings, if he was going to take
Alright.
something out of the rifle, he could use.
I'm gonna text back into our group chat. I will text it in Turkish, and I say I think we might need to sort of move things along a little bit here.
I can't. Can I still see my phone when I'm observing? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I propose. I have a bandana and a gun. So I propose we go. I storm the place. I don't know. I can pretend like I'm trying to rob it or something. Maybe I don't know. I think we just need to maybe stir the pot a bit.
I reply back in Welsh. I agree.
Oh, well then. I pull out my pistol, put a bandana around my face, kind of like a desperado, and I'll be like, "All right, well, just let me know if anything divine happens
Do we know exactly
outside
when this is meant to happen? This attack.
around
yeah.
midnight."
Yeah, during
Alright.
the Seattle Uncovered program, which they start at midnight.
How long have we?
But
got
if it
till
doesn't
it's
start at
happening?
midnight, then perhaps it'll necessitate movement or a change of plan. So, I will burst into the place. I will attempt to disguise my voice as well, and I'll speak in Spanish too, just to add some confusion to it.
Spanish terror.
Yeah. And I will essentially say in Spanish that, oh, well, how do I want to play this? Oh, yes. Oh, Zach would love this one. I would love this one. It's like I'll say in Spanish that I'm here to stop the proliferation of your lies. Long live the truth. The truth is out there. I'm gonna start quoting maybe X Files, and just randomly garbling in Spanish as I wave around the gun a little bit. Essentially, just want to disrupt the operation so that it can't go off as planned, and see what happens.
And there was a bit of time you were exchanging texts. Is this when Dozen Dimes is still in the building, or after he leaves?
I will let him leave. I will let him left.
Yeah.
We can say that's the time I took to just basically plan this. And
so Dozen Dime delivers the food and comes back down, doesn't look at you, takes his bike, continues on.
Yep.
You might want to check. You might want to check on what was in that food delivery box.
Yeah, I can do that while I'm in there. Sure, that's a great point. So yeah, I'll storm the building. I'll throw up the food. I'll just throw out the boxes, toss them on the ground, acting like a general crazy person, because obviously all they're gonna remember is a crazy person in a bright red bandana around their face, screaming at them in Spanish. Strange voice. They're not gonna remember the little details probably so much, unless they're demons or angels, which case they will.
Okay,
but anyway.
So your intent is basically to
disruption.
Shut the studio down for the night, I'm guessing.
At the very least, I don't want them to be able to go on at 12.
Yeah, at 12. Yeah,
knowing that angels the way we do,
yeah,
that should then necessitate either to return home or change his plan.
Yeah. So
in which case we might be able to catch it in that moment.
Yeah, give me a manipulation or strength plus intimidation.
Do you have a crazy speciality?
Well, this is good. This is fine. I need to have one. Yes, I don't know if that's too into ethnic stereotypes, but
cover.
Right. So intimidation, manipulation. That's 6 dice for me. So let me just get this clicked. Click. I'm not interrogating anyone, so I don't get a bonus for that, unfortunately. And let's give it a roll. No modifiers because I'm waving around a gun and such.
Yeah,
I find guns intimidating when they're waved at me, even if they're by people I trust.
Yeah, no, it's like it's violence on demand, so it's always bad news when someone's doing that. So we'll the thing is as well, like these are a little bit special, the people here.
Sure, they're probably not overawed by it, but at the same time,
yeah, it's not good news either way. Let's go with a +2.
Oh, okay. Well, that's more generous than I would have thought. Thank you.
Yes. 3 successes. Okay.
Very
so
good.
I presume your like plan includes that you're gonna leave.
Yeah. So like I'm like watching the clock. I mean out of the corner of my eye. I'm not being obvious about it, and I'm waiting to hear if anything goes off on my phone. But then after I like make my demands and like disrupt the show, I will just then bounce out and run away essentially.
Yeah.
Because the whole what I'm saying in like what I'm saying to them is that I want them to disrupt their horrible programming. I'm not necessarily there to like blow everyone away. They might think that in the moment, but then I'll leave before it gets to that, obviously, because I'm not actually there to do that.
Yeah. So you push things around. You kick over the yogurt machine again.
It's fucking yogurt machine.
you like push things off of tables and
the food too. The food specifically is all like I want to obviously check to see if there's anything in that box that our friend delivered, but
it's just bombs. It's like
like it's a bomb. Oh shit!
It's like they ordered like fucking 6 packets.
They ordered mail bombs. Oh god.
Yeah. So no, you kick over the food. You can't tell that there's
anything wrong,
anything nefarious, but then you don't have the time to.
Sure, I'm kind of
dig
quickly moving.
But yeah, it's nothing like suspicious rattles out. You make a show, people throw themselves under the tables and like, oh god, the fuck, man, put the gun away. And then eventually you leave.
Okay.
And you're gonna continue your surveillance here, I presume, to see what happens. So you have an easy way to tell what's going on with the channel by tuning into the channel. So by the clever use of any kind of device that can play radio.
In other words, phones.
You can do that. So there's it takes a bit, like a half an hour. We're not extremely close to midnight, but it's I'd say there's like a couple hours before midnight, and there's an announcement that they're experiencing some technical difficulties, and they're gonna have to postpone their long-awaited Men from the Mountains expose on our celestial frenemies segment of Seattle Uncovered, and it will instead start at 2 a.m. for all you night owls there. Be there or be ignorant of the truth, man. So they're pushing it back by 2 hours. And the Popo do not turn up at any point.
Yeah, that makes sense, though. It is infrastructure, and they're not really programmed to call attention to themselves, I'm guessing. So, kind of hoping. I was kind of banking on that, actually.
Isn't it?
Yep. So,
any sign of Gabriel?
Any sign of anything?
So,
if
we let me know how far in the timeline you guys are willing to wait before like notable things happen. Because I will take into account, like, you will see things when they happen. How long do you want to wait, though? Because time is of the essence, of course, here.
I mean, basically, all we have right now is preventing this, whatever is about to happen to this thing happening. So I'm pretty sure we're searching or sitting on it until then.
Yeah.
My question is,
midnight. I'm looking obviously through my observational eyeballs.
My question is, when I was disrupting the station, or after they announced it, did we notice anything immediately in our vicinity?
No.
No movements, no people. No strange signals. Okay, so all right.
Nope.
When we'll hang around for as long as necessary.
Yeah, functionally useless.
I'm going to be keeping an eye on the buildings around. If I see like a telltale glint of like a rifle sight or anything like that.
Yeah, right.
Best believe, given the fact I can teleport to anywhere I can see.
Through my
The
clairvoyance.
person's suddenly going to find it very inconvenient.
Can I hear them as well? Is it just sight?
It will tell you the power.
It just says perfect.
Okay, wait.
Look
So I
upon.
have one thing.
Yeah, so it's just visual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Hold
I
on a
lip
second.
read them talking about?
Do you have a thing that says you can lip read?
No.
There might be something in the book.
Okay, I got it.
I'm not sure.
I know what I'm gonna do. I should have probably done this already, but I had thought of it and there was no immediate thing. I would like to activate my read hostility embed.
Okay. Yeah.
And I want to focus it. I want to focus the effect on the building. Because the way that will work is, if I'm successful, I will know the instant that something harmful is about to happen to it.
To the building.
Well, wait a second. Maybe I should make it to the group of people inside the building instead.
It's a large group of people. It's a residential building.
Well, I can say specifically the hosts of the show, for example.
The studio.
It allows you to do that, yeah.
Are we about to find out?
Like, I can say the studio. I can be specific about my target here. I can set it around myself as well, but I'm not going to be the direct target of it, probably. So let's just say, because he has a rifle, I'm going to assume it's people he's targeting. So let's assume that it is the group I'm targeting is related to the radio station, essentially, and I'll center it on that. That's the best I think I can get out of it.
And you need to roll for it?
Which subterfuge, yeah.
Yep.
And of course, I can roll for initiative without checking for surprises, and then I might prime them for initiative rolls if that happens, but we're not there yet. So, give me 1 second. With subterfuge.
Matthew, you were saying something?
Sorry, Matthew.
So yeah, I was trying to lip read basically to get. My theory is that his his actions is going to cause the algorithm to shift in some way, and
Mhm.
I'm trying to see what that's like. What are they talking about? Are they talking about a news story? Are they just got like breaking news, kind of thing coming in? And I was just curious to find out if they suddenly start talking about a shooter's turned up and they name this shooter Gabriel, code name him, like what if it's a trick? What if we're being used as the
News items.
yeah? What if we were the self-perpetuating thing that creates this problem?
What if we were to blame for all these vampires?
Almost like you're paranoid or something.
I don't think you detect any immediate change in the programming, and you can also tell that they're not doing it live, like whatever's on. Aside from and that wasn't live either. The announcement that we're going to postpone, like they're not doing it in the booth. They're running things that are pre-recorded.
And I'll be telling Street in the like what I'm seeing. No sign of Gabriel still, as far as I can tell. He's not there.
Yep.
Mhm.
So we can jump into the previous 0 hour midnight if we're comfortable with that.
Mhm.
So nothing happens
Mhm.
at midnight.
And we detect nothing with our various powers. and abilities.
Nothing untoward comes
Mhm.
on your various capabilities of detection. Presumably also, if they're still doing the segment, because they're supposed to have these guests on to talk
Mhm.
about these like celestial frenemies. Well, no one has arrived, so they're probably like the next thing to happen is their guests are going to arrive.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess
so-
we're waiting for that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks as though, just to be on the safe side in case it's just push the Angels' plans back rather than like cause them to abort, we'll wait around until the new time that the program's going
Yeah,
to start.
absolutely.
Yep.
And thankfully, my hostility thing should last till then, so
Yeah.
we'll wait.
So we wait, and it's and this is where we're going to end because we're getting on. So next time we're going to start from this. So it's 1:45 at night.
Mhm.
You're in your positions. Nightingale still crouched in the back of this van, demon up, and you're seeing them getting ready for their broadcast again. They've started setting their stuff up, and you see a group of 6 people on the sidewalk. It's fairly late now, so there's less people around in general. So 6 people on that side of the street where the studio is. You can spot Wash immediately. There's Gabriel Bryan is in that group. They're all dressed up in
people.
they're in like utilitarian clothes, like not fancy at all. It's like
Yeah.
earthy tones, things you would wear outside.
I just made the connection to just now.
Yeah, and they're not toting rifles.
Yeah. No, these are these. Yes. Mhm.
Yes. So
Got it.
they're walking. They're like quietly discussing. Like it's not like they're like having a big group chat, but they're walking, a group of friends, and yeah, they're unless someone does something to impede them, they are progressing towards the studio doors 15 minutes before broadcast, and they look intent to enter.
One thing I will ask is, because obviously Nightingale's got his like far sight thing going on.
And I have my hostility meter up. Mhm.
Presumably Nightingale will be able to see that because he went to the area where they're going to do their recording, so he'll be able to like far sight into there. Basically, what I want to know is there like a fire, one of those like metal fire escapes, like anywhere near that room? Because my thoughts are like I can teleport up there and I can like come through the door shooting if I need to.
Not in the that'll be in the No, I guess fuck yeah, because fire safety is actually for the places. Yeah, there is absolutely. There's going to be one of those windows is going to have a fire escape.
So yeah,
below it.
so basically what I'll do is I'll position myself so I can see like the top of the fire escape,
Yep.
and then obviously with Nightingale like far sight observing it, if things start to go like south, I can like teleport myself up
bust
there,
in.
come through the door.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, Nightingale, you're continuing to see now. Wash, let me know about the like. When does the radar start to pick things up? If it does.
Right. So it's as soon as there's an imminent danger. Hold on, let me read it to you. Obviously, I can center the effect on basically who and where I want.
Yeah.
Once it's in effect, I automatically recognize harmful intent from anyone entering the scene. Any attempts to ambush or surprise may automatically fail. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So basically, if they're here now and they intend harm, then I should be able to recognize that they're here.
And this is an interesting power because I don't think it allows you to discern any details,
Nope,
just
that's
harmful intent.
It'll tell me that it's about to happen.
Yeah.
Or something's about to
there's-
go down, just in time for me to kind of react, but I have to
Yeah.
still be able to like see or know the rest of the way. Yeah.
And it needs to, so is it about the harmful action or the plan for it?
It is any person or whatever that enters the scene
And there's the scene.
that is has harmful intent.
Intent. Okay, cool. So it's
the intention.
It's not about the action at all.
Yeah. So they could be intending it for like half an hour.
Yeah.
And
cool.
I could have plenty of time to find it
harmful intent from the group.
from the group.
From the group.
Right. I'll shoot that out real quick. We have a problem. The group approaching the studio has sinful deeds in their hearts. And I'll use a heart emoji for the hearts.
Suggest you to go in at ground level. I'm going to go for the fire escape.
Alrighty.
Right. So are you the group is entering the building? Are you doing anything about that? Are you going
Are they
after?
entering or are they about to enter?
Yeah, they are. Like, this is because you have the advantage of
Sure, I obviously right.
initiative here. So
And I'm still probably close at hand because I didn't probably go that far. Yeah, I'm gonna how to get their attention.
Street is like, I know a way.
Yeah, do I want to try the same trick twice tonight?
Yeah, but patterns are that's a problem.
Yeah, I know.
In
That's what I was thinking. Thing is, I don't know who or what their harmful intent is.
Yeah, 'cause that's wonderful because you can just pick up. Oh, that guy
I know.
has some naughty thoughts.
It's like that episode of the Twilight Zone where you could read the thoughts, but they're just intentions, not necessarily actions. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna do my like best drunken West Coast girl impression, and I'm just gonna like stumble towards them and be like, "Hey guys, what's going on?
Okay.
Party!"
So we're gonna leave it there. Where you just like stumble, or like,
Yeah, I'm gonna do the drunk
"Hey,
stumble approaching
guys."
to them.
and doing your
there.
best like drunk impression.
Yeah.
Which let's actually roll for that.
Oh
So-
yeah, sure. That sounds great.
That sounds wonderful.
That definitely feels like a manipulation subterfuge to me, but it's up to you.
Yeah.
How you want that to be.
Look on the bright side, Wash, because I've not gone up to the fire escape yet. If they suddenly turn around and like whip pieces out, it's going to end.
That's true. You can just start.
It's not going to end the way they
boom,
expected to.
boom,
As I like kick open the doors of the van, like.
Yeah, seriously, they're about to meet the gun fu master. Oh, Christ.
I think it's probably because your acting here is a big part of this because you're not any of the things that you're pretending to be.
I am a West Coast girl in this cover, but yes, obviously, I'm exaggerating a lot of this stuff.
So
to a
I
high
think
degree.
probably like I would say like manipulation expression here.
Makes
for this.
sense. I do feel that. Unfortunately, I don't have any expression, which is means I just get
And
to roll
your
my-
intent would be with this.
I want to basically be able to get closer to them.
Okay,
and
yeah, that's
I want to delay them as well.
Yep.
So obviously, you know, attractive drunk girl generally delays people where they have. You know,
Yeah, and you're in the way.
Yeah, and I'm in their
well.
way as well. So I'm preventing them from trying to go in the building. So
Yep.
let me just roll. Hopefully the dice gods are still with me this evening. Yes, they are.
Okay,
not bad.
so you're doing the hi guys,
like,
hey guys,
like, do you know about the truth, man? Because that's what these people keep trying to sell me. Oh
So
man.
you're doing you're acting your heart out here,
Yeah.
and as you do so, you spot 2 blocks away. It's a straight street.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people around.
Yeah, it's
Just so happens to be a street light there. It's the man in the suit who took the rifle
right, and you know he's got a clear shot.
walking this way.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's where we're gonna end the scene, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's where we end the scene. As you're like,
Gross.
hi guys.
Oh no!
Then you look down the street and he's like, bow, bow, now,
Can I do one quick thing before that
Sure,
happens?
sure.
I'm
It's
just
like,
gonna whip out my phone, be like, selfie time, and instead of just doing a selfie, I'm going to
down the
text
street.
everyone and be like, our old friend has arrived with a present for us down the street.
okay,
And that's
so
what I'll leave it at.
we end on you guys like, selfie time. Oh boy. And you send the hasty message with the picture, and you guys are like and you see that thing, and then we do the credits.
Nice. Thank you very much for running it. Very much enjoyed it.
Indeed. Another cliffhanger.
Right.
Thank you very much, Cookmaster.
Indeed. Right, I'll stop the stream here.